Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode here on African Confessions. The following story that you're going to be listening to, it was sent to me by one of our sister, and she's the one who helped us with this translation. Strange things indeed they do happen in this world. The message that she sent to us, it reads like this. Hello, how are you? Can you please post my own story as anonymous? My story, it goes on like this. My name is Ayanda, not a real name, and I have always believed in one thing: survival by any means necessary. In a world where money is power, I have learned that you do whatever it takes to keep your head above the water and your wallet always full. People, they can call me arrogant, but I call it knowing my worth. I was raised in Soweto, surrounded by struggle, and people who always seemed to be okay with having less. Not me. That was never me. I was never going to live the life of an ordinary woman, chasing after average dreams and accepting those little things in life. I always knew that I was destined for more. I wanted to build my life around luxury, to have the finest things that money can buy, from your high-end apartment, even in Sandton, to very expensive clothes, even going out, just taking yourself out as a woman. Not to solely rely on a man, that a man has to do this, a man has to do that. For me, how about you come into a relationship having your own money, and then you put something on the table? When your boyfriends give you girlfriend allowance, you also return the favor and give him even more than what he gives you. So I had always been that type of a woman, and I am also beautiful, and for the longest time I really wanted to live that kind of a life, and through hard work I was able to at least manage my life. And I am someone who has never hesitated to take shortcuts. You know that I got employed like almost through like corruption, but the way that I got employed, it was all because I slept with the boss, and the boss had no option but to hire me. That is how I got hired. There is nothing that is wrong with that, right? A girl has to look after herself. The truth is, you have to keep up with this lifestyle, and it takes more than just ambition. The parties, when you go out, it all costs money. When you go on a vacation, it is a lot of money. So I started spending more than I could ever afford. And when I was overspending, that was when I came into contact with other people that do your money making rituals. You won't even believe it that I met up with this guy. When I met up with this guy, it was at church. This guy, he was a Sangoma that was from Zim. One of the women from church had told me, a classy woman who has a very high position in church. I never knew that she was involved in these rituals as well. She told me that she got into these rituals because she wanted a love potion for her husband. I said, oh, not you. I would never suspect that you can do something like that. He said that the husband was cheating, and then he was forced to go around looking for solutions, and that was when he found the solution from that man who was from Zim. We spoke, me and that man, and I did not care if the price was high or if the price was low. I was willing to pay whatever it was going to take. That is the difference between me and other women. I do not hesitate. They might hesitate, but I will never hesitate. I am that kind of a woman who has a strong will, who is very brave. I have never had those maternal instincts, never wanted a child. Have you ever come across that type of a person who says that they do not want a child in their life? That is what I have told myself from a very young age. A baby would only tie me down, make me soft, and I don't need that in my life. So when I heard that this Sangoma could buy wombs for cash, I was so excited, because already I did not want my womb. I wanted to donate it, but at least it was supposed to be a donation in which I was going to benefit something. I needed the money. It was as simple as that. I reached out to him through a contact, a woman who had done business with him, the same woman who had informed me that even though he was a church-going Christian, but he was still a Sangoma. We reached out to him, and then when we met at his place, I was not intimidated like I thought that I might be. I was used to him. He then went to the bedroom, and when he came back, he was wearing his traditional clothes that made him to look like a real traditional healer. And I was like, yeah, that is what I want now. Let us just get to business. This man then told me that if I wanted to sell my womb to him, then I needed to understand that once this ritual was done, there was no way of reversing it. It meant that for the rest of my life, I'll never be able to bear children, never be able to have kids of my own. And I said, I don't care. All that matters in this world is how much money you have. All that I wanted was money, a lot of it. We then spoke about it. He studied me for a moment, and he was like, you know what you are offering, right? And I said, I know exactly what I am offering. I said, my voice was really steady. I don't need this stupid womb. Give me the money. You can have my womb. He smiled, and for a second, I thought that maybe he was going to refuse. I was really desperate. I wanted this money. And then he explained that it was not just going to be a simple transaction. There will be a ritual, something that involved Muti and his ancestral spirits. It is not just about the body, he said. It is about the spirit as well. Your womb is more than flesh. Your womb is spiritual. Do you know that? I nodded, pretending to care about the details, but in truth, all that I wanted was the money. You could do whatever you needed to do as long as I walked away with the cash. With a womb. What's a womb anyway? I don't need kids. I need cash. I need control. And this was the fastest way to get it. The ritual then took place a few days later. We went to his house, and then we waited until it was in the evening. He was waiting for these other guys that were from Zim that were going to act as our security, because these rituals, they were going to happen close to this other location in the bushes. So we went into those bushes, and when we went there, he then set up a very small fire, and then besides him, I saw it. There was a snake. I said, snake, snake, snake. And he said, calm down, calm down. This is my boy. In short, he was trying to tell me that it was his own Togoloshi. I'm not afraid of many things, but something about crawling stuff, like your snake spiders, they make my skin to crawl. That snake slithered near the fire as it was watching me. I told myself to stay calm, to focus on the end game, the money. I just needed to get through this, and then I would be back on top. Lie down, he said. I lay on the ground, and then when I lay on the ground, he then started speaking in his Shona language, which I could not understand, and that was when he started sprinkling some herbs into the fire, causing the flames to flicker as if they were dancing. The snake moved closer, and though I could not see it, I could now feel it. I felt something warm and sticky on my stomach. I knew that it was now happening, for the spiritual operation had started. The snake was there to harvest my womb, and as it was rubbing into my skin, it went directly into my stomach. I felt it coiling around my uterus. Then came the cold slither of the snake as it started moving across my stomach. I kept my eyes cold. Then after that, that was when I saw the traditional healer kneeling down and removing my underwear. And then he watched me, and then he said, push, as if you are about to give birth. I pushed only once. The physical sensation that I felt, that was the most painful thing that I had ever felt. After that, I heard that there was something that came out of my private parts, and the snake, it left my body. I felt so terrified because of the pain. My body was frozen. I could not even move. After that, he then said, it is done. It is done. You will soon have your money. I nodded, too shaken to respond. And then the ritual was over, just like that. A few weeks later on, I was then given my money. Brother Nashi. One morning, I woke up, I checked my bank account, and then I saw the money. The money was just there, and it was the most exciting thing that I had ever felt from the very first day that I dated a blesser who took me out on a date and bought for me a beautiful phone. Dear listeners, right there was a message that was sent to me by one of our sister right there. That was the translation that she gave to us. Strange things indeed, they do happen in this world. Yo.